Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Story Time. As you can see, I moved my office home, so I'm working from my home today, and I'm looking forward to continuing our book, The Wizard of Oz. We're on Chapter 6, The Deadly Poppy Field. Remember, Dorothy met three new friends in our last time we read together. She met the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion, and they set off down the yellow brick road on their way to the Emerald City. Chapter 6, The Deadly Poppy Field. That night, Dorothy and her friends camped under a large tree in the forest. The Tin Man cut some wood with his axe so that Dorothy could make a fire. The Lion hunted for food, and the Scarecrow searched for nuts and berries. After several days, they passed through the forest and came to a lovely sunny land. The first thing they saw was a large field of scarlet poppies. Poppies are beautiful flowers, but when there are many of them together, the smell is so powerful that anyone who breathes it falls to sleep. Dorothy did not know this, and in a very short time her eyes grew heavy and she sat down to rest. The Tin Man tried to awaken Dorothy. He shouted, "There's no time to rest! We must hurry and return to the yellow brick road before dark!" But by this time, Dorothy was fast asleep. Since the Tin Man and the Scarecrow were not made of flesh, the scent of the poppies did not make them sleepy. "What shall we do?" asked the Tin Man. "How will we ever get back on the road to Oz? If we leave Dorothy here, she will surely die." The Scarecrow had no idea. He told the Lion to run quickly through the field so that he could escape the deadly flowers. Then he and the Tin Man could carry Dorothy and Toto out of the poppy field. So the Tin Man and the Scarecrow made a chair with their hands and carried Dorothy slowly through the field. After a while, they came to a bend in the river. There, lying fast asleep in the flowers, was the lion. The smell from the poppies had been so strong that the huge beast had given up and fallen asleep. The Scarecrow and the Tin Man felt very sad, since they could not carry the lion because he was so heavy. They had no choice but to leave him there to sleep. Okay, Chapter 7's next. The Queen of the Field Mice. Chapter 7. The Queen of the Field Mice. The Scarecrow and the Tin Man sat beside a river and waited for Dorothy to wake up. "We can't be far from the yellow brick road now," said the Scarecrow, "but which way do you suppose it is?" The Tin Man was about to answer when he heard a low growl. He turned his head and saw a large yellow wildcat come running towards him. Its mouth was open, showing two rows of ugly, sharp teeth. Its red eyes glowed like balls of fire. It was chasing a tiny gray field mouse. Although he had no heart, the Tin Man knew it was wrong for the wildcat to try to kill such a tiny creature. So the Tin Man raised his axe, and as the wildcat ran by, he gave it a quick blow and cut the beast's head off. "Oh, thank you ever so much for saving my life," said the field mouse in a squeaky voice. "You are quite welcome," answered the Tin Man. "Even though I have no heart, I am careful to help those who need a friend, even if it happens to be only a mouse." The tiny mouse looked shocked. "Why, I am the queen of all field mice, and since you have saved my life, I owe you a good deed in return." But the Tin Man could not think of anything this tiny mouse could do to help him. Just then, the Scarecrow got an idea. "I know something you could do to help us," he shouted. "Our friend, the lion, is fast asleep in the poppy field. Do you think you could help us move him?" The Tin Man could not understand how a tiny mouse could move a great lion. But the Queen of the Field Mice informed him that she was queen of thousands of mice. She gave a signal, and in a few minutes they were surrounded by field mice. They came from all directions. There were big mice and little mice and middle-sized mice. Each one brought a piece of string in its mouth. The Tin Man and the Scarecrow worked very quickly, and in no time at all, they made a truck out of tree branches. They slowly tied one end of each piece of string around the neck of each mouse and fastened the other end to the truck. When all the mice had been harnessed to the truck, they were able to pull it quite easily. The Tin Man and the Scarecrow sat on the wooden truck while the tiny mice pulled. They soon found the lion. They finally managed to get him on the truck, but they had to work very hard, for the lion was very heavy. Then, with the help of the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, the mice were able to pull the truck out of the poppy field. By this time, Dorothy and Toto were awake, and they were very happy to see their friend the lion being pulled away from the deadly flowers. The Queen of the Field Mice bowed and in a squeaky voice said, "Goodbye, and if you ever need us again, come out into the field and call, and we shall hear you and help you in any way we can. Goodbye." Ooh, next chapter, make sure you tune in. The Emerald City. Have a good weekend, everybody. I'm going to try something new for Monday, so make sure and tune in. Have a good weekend, and I hope you come back soon.